a cluttered desk might just seem like an annoying habit that some of us have, but it actually has really significant effects both on our mental health and our physical health. When our desk is cluttered, it's actually a drain on our cognitive resources. So our brain is constantly thinking about all this mess around it. And so what happens then is we can get tired more quickly, we're likely to be more stressed, and even some studies have shown that it can lead to anxiety as well. Other research has actually shown that when people are in a really cluttered environment, they also make really poor eating choices, and they're also more likely to kind of binge watch junk TV as well. Sometimes it can feel really overwhelming if we have a really messy environment in our work desk at home or in the office and we don't really know where to start. So the best thing to do firstly is to just start small, clear one space in front of you. Then secondly, you can think about, what do I really need on my desk in order to work? It's best to just keep the things that you actually need for the task that you have at hand. Lots of staplers, hundreds of pens, coffee cups, leftover food. Those things need to be cleared off our desk as well. The other thing is to make sure that your desk has things on it that you really like. That could be as simple as adding a plant. A nice plant actually helps cleanse the air. It can reduce our stress levels, research has shown. So adding a plant, adding items that are meaningful to you. So some studies have actually shown that messiness can be really helpful for creativity. When things are really ordered and clean, our brain thinks, all right, these are the rules, I kind of have to operate within these lines. So when your desk is already messy, our brain looks at that and thinks, well, the rules have kind of changed a little bit here. Maybe I can color outside the square. In fact, one guy who had a really messy desk was so messy that he used to put layers of brown paper in between the piles of things on his desk, and it would just get higher and higher and eventually have to clean it up a bit. And he was doing that one day and he pulled a document from one layer and one from another layer and put them together, and that research actually led to a Nobel Prize. What's really important when you sit down and think, okay, well, what do I need for today? Is this a creative task? Is this a task that's more administrative? Just get the things that you need, okay? So if it's an admin task, try and just keep things as clean and clear as possible, because then you also don't lose things. But if you're doing a creative task, then you can kind of spread things out. You might want to use Post-it notes stuck on the wall, a whiteboard that allows you to kind of visually map out what you're doing. Desk one, it's a bit tricky because I've just been talking about how people really should personalize their desk with things that are really meaningful to them. But this one might have gone a little bit too far. So I would rate this desk 5 out of 10. Even though it's not too messy, things are quite ordered, it's kind of overwhelming. Desk 2 is actually much better in that it makes you feel quite calm. It's not very attractive, but it's very ordered, it's very clean. There's a nice desk lamp in the back, which is actually a great idea to get some softer lighting. There's some nice art on the wall. I would give desk 2 8 out of 10. Desk number 3, it's quite a nice desk in terms of the design itself. Timber actually does make us feel a whole range of positive emotions, but this one's got food on the desk. Hopefully they're going to take that away quite quickly. All the cords are a bit messy. There's a big pile of sort of clutter on the right hand side, so it's not as calming, not as organized. So I would probably give maybe a 6 to 7, closer to a 7.